If you've seen videos like this and this, and are wondering how the fuck do I do that, then you've come to the right place. In this video, I'll be going over the key concepts that'll separate your life from a scrub as your life from a real competitive Retrocycles player. Now, the first thing that every self-respecting player needs to do is set up some keybinds. Now, this process is relatively simple. Just go to the main screen of the game, navigate to Player Setup, Player 1 Settings, Input Configuration, and bind at least 2 keys to both left and right. While you're here, also add a key for break. If you're struggling to come up with your own binds, I recommend using a layout like this. One more keybind thing that I highly recommend doing is binding 3 glance keys for left, right, and backwards. To do this, return back to Player 1 Settings, navigate to Camera Input Configuration, and bind left, right, and back to whatever is most intuitive for you. The final step in setting up your game is getting it from looking like this to this. The first thing you are going to want to do is navigate to where you have your game installed by right-clicking, Properties, Installed Files, Browse, then beelining it straight for the config folder at the top. Then go over to settings.cfg, use Ctrl-C, and then Ctrl-V to make a copy. Double-click to open and select Notepad. You're then going to nuke everything in here and paste in the settings I've put in the description. You also want to be sure that once you've pasted your settings that you rename it to Auto Exec. Now, since you've done all that, your game should look very similar to mine. At this point, you're probably saying, okay, all this is great, but how do I actually play the freaking game? And I'm sorry, my friend, but there are still things to be learned and setup to be done. But from here on out, it's a whole lot less technical. Past my recommendations, the bare minimum for playing competitive Retrocycles is having an account, being in the Discord, knowing the bot rules, and the grind for both Fort and TST. If you know these, people will be nice to you. If you don't... So let's get started with making an account. This process is super simple. Just head over to retrocyclesleague.com and make an account, name, and password. You'll use this same @RCL account name and password every time you have to log into a competitive server. In order to log into a game, you will use the command /login. Then input your username @RCL, then your password, and submit. You'll get a confirmation in chat once you have logged in. You should now be able to create or join a team. Now that you can actually play in a lobby, the most essential piece of knowledge you need to know before playing is the grind. The grind may look hard, but it's actually fairly simple. On round start, go 3/4 the way to the edge of the zone before pressing your 2 inwards keys at the same time. You are then going to go all the way to the bottom of the grind before pressing your other 2 keys in the opposite direction. You will then drive straight up the grind, splitting close to the middle, making sure you turn after your sweepers have turned back. From then on, just run your cycle close to the wall and make your way to the attack. Now for the less popular but equally as important TST Grind. This grind is incredibly simple. Literally just turn into your opponent's line and drive straight to the edge of the zone. That's it. Now for some super quick stuff here at the end. To join the ranked queue and use all of your knowledge, join the Discord at this link. You're going to need to navigate to #pickup and type !help to read the rules and !add to be added to TST and Fort. You can do add Fort or add TST to only add for one. Just a little bit of motivation. This game is hard. You'll be dying a lot. But it doesn't take long to get confident on the grid and not, be having an awful time. So happy grinding. Peace.